Stop. Before you scroll past this, give me 30 seconds. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't about money. It isn't about investments or savings rates or the perfect retirement number. It's about something nobody in your life has said to you directly, even though the data has been saying it for years. The plan you've been protecting, the one that says work until 67, save aggressively, delay everything, then finally live, that plan has a flaw so fundamental that most people only discover it when it's too late to do anything about it. The flaw is this: it assumes you get to choose when it ends. And for Gen X, that assumption is quietly, systematically breaking down. Here are 5 reasons why. Reason 1: you may not get to choose your exit. The average Gen Zer plans to retire at 67. The actual median retirement age? 62, 5 years earlier than planned. And the gap between those two numbers isn't filled with people who found financial freedom ahead of schedule. It's filled with people who didn't see it coming. The diagnosis that arrived without warning. The restructuring meeting where words like transition and realignment were used carefully, professionally, while eye contact slowly disappeared from the room. The back that gave out at 59. The mind that hit a wall at 61 and never fully recovered from it. You cannot schedule a health crisis. You cannot plan for the layoff that comes 3 years before you are ready. You cannot guarantee that your role still exists when the company decides experience costs too much and younger is cheaper. Loyalty used to protect people. It doesn't anymore. Experience used to matter more than age. The math has changed. Which means the real question isn't whether you can afford to retire early. The real question is whether you can afford to keep building a plan around a choice that may never actually be yours to make. Reason 2: your body has been keeping score. And it doesn't negotiate. Our parents expected 15 to 20 healthy years after retirement. That expectation shaped everything: the timeline, the sacrifice, the just a little longer. Work hard until your mid-60s. Then enjoy what's left. But Gen X is aging differently. The data is shifting in ways that don't come up at dinner tables or financial planning appointments. Higher rates of cardiovascular disease. Chronic stress conditions that compound quietly over decades. What researchers now call deaths of despair, outcomes directly tied to sustained burnout, long-term pressure, and emotional exhaustion that never fully released. Think about what your body has absorbed. 3 decades of deadlines. Economic crashes. Raising children through financial instability. Watching entire industries dissolve while you adapted, again, and again, and again. Always performing. Always just a few more years from the part where it gets easier. The machine kept running. But you feel it now, don't you? In the mornings. In how long it takes to recover from a hard week. In the way your body sends signals your 20-year plan never accounted for. Your body didn't sign the retirement agreement. And it is not going to wait for the spreadsheet to catch up. Reason 3: you are being pulled apart. Picture this specific moment. It's a Tuesday evening. Your mother called twice, a medication question, a doctor's appointment that needs coordinating, a conversation that takes longer than it used to and carries more weight than it used to. Your adult child texted, money is tight, the economy is brutal, they need help navigating something. And tomorrow morning you have a 7 a.m. call, a full calendar, and performance expectations that haven't softened just because your life outside work has become its own full-time job. This is not a bad week. This is your life right now. Research shows Gen Zers are spending over 1,000 hours annually on caregiving, on top of demanding careers. That's not a side responsibility. That's a second existence layered directly on top of your first one. And somewhere in the middle of holding 2 generations together while still performing at work, the question of what is actually left for you stops being rhetorical. The phase where everyone needs you at maximum capacity doesn't last forever. But operating at full intensity through all of it, for another decade, without something giving, that is not a plan. That is a collision waiting to happen. Reason 4: the number in your head is lying to you. There's a figure sitting in the back of your mind. $1.2 million. $1.5 million. Maybe more. It feels like a finish line, a threshold you must cross before you've earned the right to stop. And it feels permanent because it was built during your peak spending years, when the mortgage was full, the kids were home, and work-related costs were woven into every month. But something fundamental shifts after 60. Mortgages get paid off. Children become financially independent. The commute disappears. The wardrobe changes. The entire infrastructure of professional life, the lunches, the dry cleaning, the performance of showing up, stops costing what it cost. And what people consistently discover in early retirement is that their actual monthly needs are 30 to 40% lower than they were during their highest earning years. You have been measuring your future with a ruler designed for your present. Which means the gap between where you are and where you need to be is almost certainly smaller than the number in your head suggests. The finish line has been moving toward you while you've been running toward it, and you may be closer than you think. Reason 5: Retiring early doesn't mean stopping. It means choosing. When Gen X hears early retirement, the image that appears is a full stop. No income. No structure. No purpose. A door that closes and doesn't open again. And that image is what keeps people locked into timelines that are quietly working against them. But that is not what intentional early retirement looks like. For most people who choose it thoughtfully, it's a transition. A bridge between the life that consumed you and the life that actually belongs to you. 3 decades of work didn't just give you a pension number. It gave you judgment. Perspective. The ability to read situations, navigate complexity, and contribute in ways that don't require a full-time title to deliver. Consulting. Freelancing. Project work that fits your life instead of owning it. Even modest, flexible income during early retirement covers daily expenses, reduces pressure on savings, and gives investments more time to grow untouched. You are not jumping off a cliff. You are stepping off a treadmill that has been running at a speed you didn't set and can't sustainably maintain. For 20 years, we were handed 2 options. Work until you drop or stop completely. That was the whole menu. And we accepted it the way our generation accepted most things, without complaint, without question, heads down, just a few more years. But there is a third path. Quieter. More honest. More yours. Where you step back before the decision is made for you. Where you protect your health while it can still be protected. Where you reclaim your time while there is still time worth reclaiming. Where the exit is yours, chosen, deliberate, on your terms, not handed to you in a meeting you didn't see coming. The question was never really about the number. It was always about how much of your actual life you were willing to trade for the feeling of security. And at some point, the trade stops making sense. So tell me honestly in the comments. What age did you plan to retire? And when you picture yourself at that age, what does your body tell you? Not your spreadsheet. Your body. I read every single comment. And I'll see you in the next one.